Hello, my loves. Welcome to another episode of The Lioness Den. Today we got back Brother Knight, and today's discussion would be being a good dad. No excuses. Say hi, D.
Hey, family, friends, and those who've been waiting to hear word of wisdom. I thank y'all for tuning in. And then those who is just for the first time, I ask that you subscribe to Sugar Love. Thank you for taking this time to once again be with me and hear words of wisdom.
Yes. Okay, Brother Knight, can you tell me how many children you have?
I have three.
Um, can you tell me the like any of the pitfalls, or can you tell me how it is raising children?
Oh wow, wow. Be truthful. Raising children is just like going to work, having a job. It's a job. It's a job without pay, whether we want to accept it or not. But it's one that help you to understand type of person that you're dealing with. You know, I can't take nothing away from my children. God bless me with them to have them. So, you know, I thank God for my children. I thank God for the character that they have, the character that they display, so that whatever is not good in their character or whatever, I can more and shape it.
Okay, Brother Knight. Okay, we always hear, all the time, men always complaining about their baby mothers, and that's why I don't see my kid, and baby mother this and baby mother that. That's why it's called no excuses. How do you deal with that?
Well, how I deal with it is, it's first and foremost, it's not really about you or the mother. It's about that child. I was in a situation where things became rocky between me and the mother, but I always put in my mind that just like God loved me, I love my children. I won't abandon them, no matter what. So even though things may be rocky, I always put them first because they didn't ask to come here, you know. But uh, you have to look at it as a blessing. God bless you with life. So I took all I took all the opportunity that I had with my children to be in their life, regardless of situations or problems that occurred. I always let them know that I was here, even though there's been some days that you know uh, problem was worse where I couldn't even go to the house, but I always came in front of the building, called my kids up in the window, and listen, Dad here, come on, let's go, you know, and I'm glad that other people recognize the work that I was doing because every time you see me, you see my children, and it was amazing that people was looking at me that I didn't know that was looking at me because one day I remember on Father's Day I had my two little kids and this lady from the neighborhood that I didn't know, she said, you know what? You are a wonderful, beautiful father. Every time I see you, you with your kids, no matter what. So it really touched me, and it just encouraged me more to just keep doing what you're doing, regardless of the problem situation. Because how you handle situation when you are dealing with kids, or it will affect their growth in some way. So I try to keep it positive and show them a positive outlook on their father.
So how was you able to separate like the bad feelings between the mother and raising your kids? Because you have a lot of men that would not, see their kids. And first thing it's like you hear a lot of men dog out their baby mother or complain about the child support. You hear them talk more about that than the child. Like most of these men, they can tell you everything about the baby mother, but they don't even know their child's favorite color. It's like, how is it that some men put that 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 feeling of the hatred for the mother and and stray away from the child?
Well, I say, uh, first, it's with the individual, because if an individual never experienced love from their family, how they gonna give love to anybody, you know? So it goes back. It goes back to the way they was raised, because some people they grow up family discombobulated, or all kinds of things going on in the family, so they tend to hate themselves because there's no love there. But certain situation that I was put in made me humble myself more. Situation that I've been in. Like I recall one situation where I went to jail for something that I ain't do, and the old man, it was when it was time for me to leave. Old man, he dropped little words of wisdom on me. He was saying, "Listen, brother, if you ain't gonna get it right and stay from behind these walls, you might as well let somebody else raise your kid."
That was coming up. Go ahead.
And when he said that, it registered in me. I was like, man, listen, I love my kids too much for to allow somebody else to be a father of my kids and stuff, So I made sure that I was always there and doing the right things and trying to even up to the age as they got teenagers and young ladies and men, I always tried to instill in them things that they could carry on when they get older, because, at a young age when you're dealing with children and you don't have money at the time to give them or whatever, they be in the mode of, oh, dad don't love me or dad always broke. But I learned to take the situation like that and do something with that situation, cause it ain't always you gotta have money. It's you can always do things with kids. All kids want is time. I learned that only thing that kids want is your time.
Okay, let me ask you a question upon that.
Yes.
Now, you hear a lot of people say that kids just want is time, which is absolutely correct. But how do you feel about child support?
I feel that child support is a great thing for those who bring life and then don't want to take care. I think child support is a real good thing, a real good blessing to those who need to take that route, because it also gives you a chance to see the frame of mind that individual person that individual person where their mind is at, because most of the time people that you gotta take to child support and stuff like that, those type people who the only thing they had was to be with you, to have you, sex you out, whatever, and that's it. Later for support my kids. I can't even support myself.
Do you think that, like I say, as being a good dad, no excuses? do you think that that's an excuse is when they said I can't support myself? Because you know you have a lot of men that don't realize that, you know, for one, their kids may have eaten dinner, may not have eaten dinner, and two, you have a lot of men that don't realize, you know, what their child is going through because let's say their moms moved on to like a new boyfriend, a new man. You know, how do men sleep at night knowing that, you know, their kids could be touched? Did they eat? Did not care about their well being, but they care more about not paying child support or paying child support. And, you know, how does, you know, being that, how does that not go through people's mind?
Well, I wouldn't even call them men. I wouldn't even call them men. They are child themselves because any true man, he's a man. A man is one that's going to take care of his responsibility, regardless of situation. You know, so I can't even fix my mouth to say that.
You know, you see it in the news a lot. You know, a lot of like this. The mom's boyfriend did this. A mom's boyfriend beat the child. Mom's boyfriend killed the baby. A mom's, you know, you hear that a lot. And then the question always, people always go, well, the mother should have chosen better. But the mother wasn't the one who created.
Well, sometimes in those situations, it's a mother bringing somebody else in where she already had kids, you know, and after a while, it's like she give that person the right to be the father of the kids, and he ain't really the father. So then you have a situation where, hey, I don't have to take care of these kids.
Yeah, but do you think that the man that the mother's chosen is only doing them things to that child because there is no father presence? Because a lot of times, you know, if a man know there's a father's presence and he's still in a child's life, he's gonna watch how he treat them kids. So you think a lot of that, you know, a lot of that comes from the father not being in the picture, that they knew the mother's new boyfriend, you know, they not his kids, you know, and a lot of them just want the mother anyway. That's not their responsibility. So a lot of these kids get abused.
You're right. A lot of them do get abused. I say that a lot will have to do with it all boils down to the frame of mind, and what have you experienced during your time when you was a little kid, when you was growing up. It have a lot to do with that because if there wasn't no structure when you was the little child, if you didn't have no structure, you didn't have nobody teaching you what's family about or telling you how they love you, and all you saw in the family is construction, mommy getting beat up, mommy got different men. You begin to believe that that's the norm. That's the way life go. You
Okay,
know?
let me ask you this question because I hear a lot of men say, oh, my baby mother is keeping me away from my child. My baby mother won't let me see my kids. Do you think that's an excuse? Because uh, unless you have any legal documents that state that you cannot see your kids, then you can see your child. But what do you say? How do you feel about that situation? About the baby mothers, you know, bitter baby mothers not letting them see
Well,
their child.
you have situation where mothers do that. You know, that try to use the kids as a pawn. You know, especially when they know that they have someone, a good person. You know, and that person left. You know, then they start using the child as pawn. But in my situation, I turned all that around because once I recognized that that's how it was going, you know, you're using the kids as a pawn and stuff. sometimes you won't want me to see them and stuff. I always made it a point to come and see my kid, even if I have to call up to the window, you know, uh, just talking to them, just them seeing my presence, they knew that hey, dad is with us, dad still love us, even though mom might tell us, oh well, today we can't see her or feel angry about dad and taking it out on us by not letting us be with them. I always let them know that my presence gonna be there, and then I just it helped me to also use a strategy for the mother. It also because see when people is angry or bitter, the best solution for that is love.
Yes.
You show them love.
They can't be stay
Even
bitter.
through their bitterness, because once you start showing love and start showing them that, hey, listen, just because we separate, I don't have no bad feeling for you. I still love you. You're the kid. You're the child of my mother. I mean, you're the child of my kids. So
You're the mother of my kids.
You're the mother.
I got you.
You're the mother. Excuse me. You're the mother of my kids. So I'm gonna do all in my best to make sure that you ain't angry, you ain't bitter, because once you're happy, then I know my kids happy, and I know my kids are secure, you know. And if somehow you may got a new man, hey, that's good and fine. That's all right with me. But I'm gonna let it be known that I'm the father of these kids. I'm the father of these kids. What they need, I will provide. You don't have to worry about anything but the relationship that you have with their mother. If any argument or you gotta put your hand on their mother, please call me, because my kids ain't used to that type of atmosphere. So I always make sure that I'm available for whatever situation that may occur in the house, because I'm not in the presence of the household. So I will always make sure that they know my presence ain't only just outside the house. My presence is also inside the house. Because I always used to ask my kids, how's things going in the household, and if it's a bad situation where the mother boyfriend talked it bad to them or raised their voice and stuff, I will give the mother the opportunity to address it. And if she don't address it, then that's when I'll come in and address it. It been many times where the mother didn't want to address it. I guess for whatever reason, I might be out of spite me, or might been out of the cause confusion between me and now her boyfriend. But I always came. If it was a situation, I always made sure I came and addressed that situation. That's the only time I will go and knock on the door. Other than that, I'll stay my distance.
So when you see, knowing that, you go through the same thing that most men go through, like you done been through the bitter, the good, the bad, the ugly, what do you say to men who, would tell you, these are the reasons why I don't? Because, and you going through the same thing, saying, like, that don't stop me. So what advice would you give them, or they just don't want to be a good dad?
Men like that, I would, like I said, I don't want to call them men, because they ain't men do men things. Men do take care of their responsibility. Just like it said, when I was a child, and now that I'm a man, I put away childish things.
Exactly.
You know, men take care of their responsibility. So, first thing I will say to a person that having that type of problem or issue in their life, first I will ask them, you know, evaluate yourself. Evaluate yourself first. You know, evaluate yourself. Evaluate what's more important to you. You know, don't blame the mother. Oh, she ain't doing this, she ain't doing that. Evaluate yourself, because when you start saying the mother ain't this, that's going to show me what frame of mind you is. That going to show me that your interest is on the mother, not even your kids. You know, so I would say evaluate yourself and see what's more important in your life.
Do you feel like if, like, just being around them, if you can't even commit to your own kids, how can you commit to a friendship?
That's true. Well, I say, you know, and raising my kids, and then when they had little brothers and sisters and stuff, and they dad wasn't doing what he supposed to do, you know, I'm glad that I was able to reach out and touch them and show them love, you know, because I remember when I used to come and see my kids, and I knock on the door and they come, and I give them some money, and then they little brothers and sisters be in the background. So you know, I felt bad. One day God touched my heart and said, you know what? Don't just only give to your kids, give to them. And once I started doing that, it really opened up a door for them. You know, it let them see that somebody do love you, somebody do care for you. You know, and
we got to do a part 2.
I tell you, something really good came out of that, because all the time that
I know, finish that sentence, because we got to do a part 2.
All of that I was doing, you know, and the Father was seeing it. I guess it really talked to the inner man in him, because after a while, him seeing a man step in and take care of his child, or help out the mother of his kid, you know, take away some burden from her, you know, doing things with them. After a while of him seeing that, and then also explaining to him that, listen, man, won't you start telling your kids how much you love them? You know, start doing things. And eventually it registered. It might have took some years, it might have took a couple of years, but it registered.
All right, we're going to stop this right here. We're going to have a part 2. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you have any comments, leave it down below. And press the little bell button and subscribe. Peace. Stay tuned to part 2.